At just 23 years old, Adrian was a respected musician, but fate had dealt him a cruel hand. When he was only 6, a strange tumor began growing on his face. What started as a small abnormal growth slowly turned into a massive bone that completely transformed his appearance. As the years passed, the tumor continued to grow. Eventually, it weighed nearly 6.6 pounds and began putting severe pressure on his airway. For Adrian, the shadow of death was becoming impossible to ignore. Adrian and his father traveled more than 1,000 miles to Mexico City in search of specialists who could help him. After examining him, the doctors were shocked by the complexity of his condition. They had to give Adrian some devastating news. First, the surgery would be extremely dangerous. Major arteries and blood vessels surrounded the tumor, meaning that even a sudden loss of blood could cause him to die on the operating table. There was another terrifying possibility. The doctors might have to perform a tracheotomy, which could seriously affect his ability to speak. Adrian could potentially lose his voice and be forced to communicate through writing or sign language. Now, he had an impossible choice to make: risk everything to save his life, or continue living with a tumor that was threatening his future. In the end, Adrian chose to fight. He underwent the extremely risky surgery and, fortunately, made it through. But surviving the operation was only the beginning. The surgery left a massive opening in his face, and he had to live with tubes in place while doctors worked to reconstruct his nasal passages. The pain was intense, and more reconstructive procedures would still be necessary. But for the first time in years, Adrian could breathe more freely, eat on his own, and even lie down to rest. Now, he is beginning to rebuild his future. He wants to return to music and turn his extraordinary experience into a book, hoping his story can inspire others who are facing battles of their own.